Hey, hello guys, welcome to our channel Plagiarize Content. In this segment of Reminiscence with series, we have the season 1 recap of the Umbrella Academy. With season 2 have just aired, it's a good moment to take a look back at the most important moments from season 1. So this is based on the comic book series of the same name, The Umbrella Academy. So it made its debut on the Netflix in February 2019 and the series was very well received, surpassing one of the streaming giant's most popular titles and was renewed for a second season a week later. The Umbrella Academy follows the Hargreaves, seven siblings with extraordinary abilities but who don't have the best relationship. So, somewhere around October 1, 1989, 43 women around the world gave birth at the same time, but none of them was pregnant when the day began. Not long after, eccentric billionaire Sir Reginald Hargreaves set out to adopt as many of those babies as he could, but he only got seven. As they began to develop unique sets of superpowers, Reginald trained them and formed the superhero team, the Umbrella Academy. Sadly, Reginald wasn't a good father to the kids and they all ended up going on their own ways. So the Hargreaves united years later to save the world from the fast approaching apocalypse, but all their efforts weren't enough to stop the end of the world. Luckily, one of them, Five, has the ability to jump through time and space, which he used to transport himself and his siblings to a safer place and time way before the apocalypse. So a lot of things has happened in season 1 which is more important to keep in mind in order to fully understand and enjoy season 2. And here are the most important moments to remember. Sir Reginald Hargreaves is dead. The event that brought the Hargreaves together after years of not seeing or even talking to each other was Reginald's death. Reginald died of heart failure, or at least that's what he wanted his children and the world to think. Luther immediately suspected something was wrong, but the autopsy report showed there was nothing suspicious about his death. It was later revealed that it was planned by Reginald as he knew the end of the world was approaching and the only hope there was for the world was his kids reuniting and joining forces. The only event that could bring them together was his funeral. With the help of Grace and Pogo, Reginald planned his death and succeeded in reuniting all of his children, including five who had been missing for over a decade. Vanya is not powerless. Number 7, aka Vanya, was believed to be powerless and was left out of all the missions Reginald was sent to. Vanya's only talent was playing the violin, but as it turns out, she is actually the most powerful of the Hargreaves siblings. Reginald was very well aware of that, and as he couldn't help her control her powers, he used the powers of her sister Allison to make her believe she was ordinary and kept her under medication for years. Harold Jenkins, aka Leonard Peabody, found Reginald's notebook and learned all about Vanya, so he knew what he had to do in order to unleash her powers. Of course, he didn't know how powerful and dangerous she can be. And so Vanya ended up being the one who caused the apocalypse when her powers reached their full potential. Allison can't talk anymore. Vanya had a very hard time understanding and controlling her powers, and before provoking the end of the world, she almost killed her sister. When Allison confronted her at Leonard's cabin, she tried to create a rumor so Vanya wouldn't listen to her and stay away from Leonard. But Vanya attacked her before she could finish her rumor and slit her throat with the bow of her violin. For the rest of the season, Allison couldn't speak, but the season 2, we don't know what else will happen. Five and the Commission have unfinished business. Five spent the whole season running away from Cha-Cha and Hazel, two time-traveling assassins working for the Commission as well as from his boss, the Handler. The Commission in general, Five failed to fulfill one important mission, killing John F. Kennedy, which is why the Commission is after him. It didn't help that he finally managed to reunite with his siblings just days before the apocalypse with the purpose of warning them and stopping the end of the world, something that the Commission doesn't approve. Things will only get worse and more complicated now that he jumped back in time with his siblings, and the Commission will continue to go after him and the rest of the Hargreaves. Klaus's powers are getting stronger. Klaus has the ability to communicate with the dead and temporarily make them corporeal. This power had been a big burden for Klaus that it didn't help that Reginald didn't know how to guide him and often locked him in a mausoleum when he was a child. As a result, Klaus developed a drug addiction at a very young age as he found out that drugs represses his powers. In the episode The Day That Was, Klaus followed Luther to a rave where he was knocked unconscious in a fight. Klaus died momentarily and saw Reginald, who told him he has not reached the full potential of his powers just yet. After that, Klaus did his best to stay sober and discovered that Ben, who was the deceased brother, was starting to gradually become more corporeal, being able to interact with them. We know that he punched Klaus, he saved Diego, and all the others. So, if Klaus continues to stay clean, his powers could finally reach another true potential. Hazel and Agnes escape the apocalypse. In the final moments of the apocalypse, Hazel and Agnes escape by using the briefcase the Commission used. At the same time, before Hazel and Chacha fell out, there was a mission to terminate each other when Hazel and Chacha broke into a fight. So Hazel hit Chacha and disappeared with Agnes. So when Chacha found Hazel again, both got into a fight. That's when the handler reappeared and gave Hazel and Chacha another task. So in this time, Hazel came back and killed the handler while disappearing with Agnes before the apocalypse happens. So the season finale starts with Vanya killing Pogo after destroying the Umbrella Academy, and the whole team meets at the concert where Vanya plays the violin and causes the apocalypse with her being the bomb while a part of the moon fell on the earth. So that's the short recap of the season 1 of the Umbrella Academy. If you like the video, please do share and subscribe. Watch out for plagiarized content for more updates. See you in another wonderful video. Until then, tata, bye bye.